What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host, Vernon. This is the Forks. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, welcome to the heart of Winnipeg. Right smack dab in the middle of Winnipeg is where you have the Red River and the Assiniboine River joining together, and that is where we find the Forks. Now this is a lovely spot with some markets and some food and stuff and some shops around, lots of hiking trails, but we're here today to fish. Alright, so the sun has just about peeked over the little buildings there, not yet in the water, but we're going to start throwing around some lures, see if we get on some fish. And we're going to start with a simple old trusty jighead night crawlers combo, throwing that out there, see if we can get any fish to commit to that. Now I wanted to fish on the other side, on the bank on that side, but sadly the little bridge is closed at the moment for construction, so not able to get on that side, so I'll be throwing around here. Let's get to the fishing. Alright, so once again, where we have the two rivers meeting is where I'm thinking it's a great place for some fish that want to be feeding. That's the fish we're looking for. Now I am seeing quite a lot of small fish, lots of surface activity of these small fish. That is why I've been throwing around a little jighead night crawler, but lots of snags in the water, so I have lost a few jig heads. So I moved over to throwing around a little blade bait, but even that, haven't had any hits on that. I think we don't want something fast moving through the water. Any fish that's going to be feeding will be slow and lethargic. So for that reason, we're going to get some baits out into the water. Rather than having the fish chase the food, we'll have it soaking in the water, wait for the fish to find us. Now, of course, anything like a red horse or sturgeon would be super cool to catch. But I only have some night crawlers, and with that, you can pretty much catch anything. So maybe we'll get on some channel cats or anything. The only way we'll find that out is by getting this out into the water. Now again, I'm allowed to use two hooks, so I'm baiting two different hooks, and I'm just going to throw it out where the two rivers kind of meet, and we'll wait for some fish to show up. Now, of course, I have to keep an eye on my rod. You're not allowed to go too far away from your rod, and then particularly in this spot, we have a little marina down on the Assiniboine. So there is some boat traffic that can come past here. So we might have to lower our rods and stuff if there's lots of boats coming past. But for now, it's been quiet, so we'll just leave as is and wait to see if we get on any fish. Alright, we had something go for our baits. Just want to see if whether we still have something on or whether we have to rebait. And we actually have our first little fish for today. Going to be a tiny little channel catfish. Now with the channel catfish, you have to be very careful of the barbs. You don't want to get spined by these guys. They are poisonous. This little fish is croaking, probably a little male. More likely that the males will be croaking. You can see the lovely colors on this fish. A lot more black on the fins than I'm used to. But let's get this little guy back to the water. Now I'm just going to give this guy a bit of a toss to get into deeper water. It's very shallow here, so off he goes. I would not recommend doing that with bigger fish, but with a small fish like that, it should be fine to handle the little fall like that. And he swam off nicely, so all good. Our first little fish landed. Now I want to point out that even though I'm using barbless hooks, I am using circle hooks, hoping that the fish will stay pinned a little bit better. Worked nice for that little catfish. It's quite easy to get the hook out. We're getting some tiny little taps. And it looks like one of our baits have been stolen. So just gonna rebait everything, get it back out. Once again, we're getting little taps, but it doesn't look like anything big. So it's just small fish messing with our little baits. We'll just leave it out there, wait if we get a bigger take. I think we have another small fish on. First had to break the little worms down to size. We finally got something. Feeling a bunch of head shakes. Probably another little channel catfish. We won't know until we get it closer in. And it's actually a decent little, looks to be walleye. I have to check the fins and everything. There we are. No black spots on this one, so this is indeed a walleye. This is my first walleye. Just want to get to a proper place where we can release this fish a bit better. Want to get some good shots of him. Lovely little fat belly on this fish. Quite sturdy little guy. There we are, my first walleye. Little over 30 centimeters. Now I'm trying to give this fish some oxygen, keeping him in the water, in between having little looks. Like I said, this is my first walleye ever. So just want to have a little look at this fish. Lovely green on the back there. Lovely little walleye. Let's release this guy. And off he goes. Nice quick kick and he's off. Once again getting these little taps. Now all of the bites I've been getting thus far is very soft, so I don't just want to not try and set the hook when I'm seeing these taps happening, because you don't know what type of fish it is that has your hook. Clearly something has been stealing the bait, so I'm just going to rebait, get it back out there. Alright ladies and gents, we seem to have a fish on. Once again, we have a little channel catfish. Now maybe this is a little catfish nursery. That's maybe why we're getting all the small ones. But lovely to get some fish at least. Let's get this guy back to the water. The water level is a bit lower than I've seen it the last time that I was out here at the Forks. It's a bit harder to get to the water, so just finding a spot where it's easier to release the little fish. But shallow. Go to the deeper water, buddy. See if we can help him that way. And ever so slowly, but off he goes. Now the better option would be to make my way to the docks, but I don't want to be fishing inside of the docks there. So I think we've had some good success here where the Assiniboine and the Red River meets. Maybe we need to go for a bit of a walk, find a better spot where we have better access to the water. Alright, so just around the corner I found a little rocky spot. I'm going to try our luck out here. This is the Red River, and we're near a little dock. Just take note, I'm not fishing on the dock, I'm near the dock, so we can release some fish if we catch any from the dock here. But we got some baits out. Let's see if we get anything out on this side of the river. Alright, ladies and gents, I've by now managed to lose 2 fish in this particular spot. I'm getting the hits, but I don't get the hook sets on them. While we have some time to kill out there, I want to do a special thank you to one of my subscribers. After watching some of my videos and wanting me to do good out there, one of my subscribers here in Winnipeg named Richard, he gave me this particular book. Very welcoming gift. This is a book about all of the fish found here in Manitoba. Now this is a very great gift idea for someone that does a lot of fishing and does not know the waters. This book helps a lot with the identification of the fish behaviors, and where they are. That is why I want to give a special shout out to Richard, thanking him for this gift. Now why is this important? Well, when identifying these fish, like the little walleye, I use the information that's found in a book like this. Now yes, you can always just Google a fish to make sure it's the right one, but on the internet it can be very difficult to find correct answers, where a book like this, they do have the studies and scientific facts to back it up, and that's why I with confidence can say that that was my new PB walleye that we caught. Alright, but with that, in this particular spot, I'm not getting too much action, and unfortunately you have to pay for parking here at the Forks, and we are slowly running out of time. So I'm thinking, gonna pack up, head back to the first spot, see if we can get on one last fish before calling it a day. Alright, ladies and gents, in 2 hours I've not had any hits out there, but still had loads of fun out here. Lots of people out here walking around, happy to have a talk, chatting about the river and the fishing in particular. And to be fair, with constant noise out there from the traffic, some ambulances and the train, this is definitely urban fishing. And yet, in some way, with all of the birds around, little squirrels, it feels like we're out in nature as well. So this is a great spot for some fishing. And I just happened to get on a new species out there, so please do give me a little thumbs up for catching a new species. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments as well. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button, joining my community. Alright guys, but that's going to do for this trip. Thanks for following me out to the Forks, and like always, I'll see you next time.